Hello and welcome to Midlife Magic, a unique channel for unique women. I'm Colleen and I am a midlife coach, a crystal addict, and a lover of all things woo-woo. I'd like to ask you to join me today in picking your favorite crystal, holding it between your hands or however you want, bringing it to heart center and getting grounded. Just visualize that you are as strong and as solid as the crystal that you hold. Alternatively, if you prefer, you can visualize that your legs are tree roots and that they're anchoring into the ground, down, down, strong and strong, grounding you. For today, I'd like to introduce you to your must-have crystals and a few of my fave. So all of the crystals that I'm going to suggest are easy to come by for the most part. There's a couple towards the end that are going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'd like to introduce you to crystals that are easy to come by, that are relatively inexpensive, and that you will find easy to work with. I know when you're just starting out with crystals, it can be quite intimidating to go into a crystal store. There are so many choices, so many colors, so many price points, and the energy is crazy. What I'd like to suggest is that before you go crystal shopping, make sure that you are grounded. Try maybe to have a list of what you're looking for. However, always be open to whichever crystal might call to you or you may be drawn to. Once you have got your crystals, I really recommend that you do cleanse them. My favorite go-tos for cleansing are the moonlight and smudging. That way you don't have to worry about whether the crystal is okay to go in water or salt or any of those questions. It's just super simple and will not damage your crystal in any way. So the must-haves. Very first and foremost, of course, is clear quartz. Everyone should have clear quartz. You can have tumbled, you can have a point, you can have a tower. It doesn't matter what shape you decide. Do that just based on your own likes and your own intuition. The clear quartz is an all-purpose crystal. It's great for everything. It's also known as a master crystal. It magnifies and amplifies all energy. So if you find yourself in a situation where you would like to work with a certain crystal and you don't have it, you could either just use a picture or visualize it in your mind and use the clear quartz to help magnify that particular crystal's energy. It brings clarity, it awakens the mind, and it's amazing for setting intentions. It's a great little crystal for just about anything. It can be your go-to whenever. The next one that I'd like to introduce you to is amethyst. Amethyst is loved by a lot of people. Amethyst is generally a purpley color, and if you see behind me on the shelf, excuse me, I should have had it closer up, but I'll bring it now. This is an amethyst cluster. The reason I bring forward the amethyst cluster is that an amethyst cluster is amazing to have in your home. You can have it at your front door, you can have it in your kitchen, your living room, wherever there's a lot of activity, because it removes any negativity. I have one at my front door that just makes sure that whoever's coming and going, they can take their negativity with them or they can leave it. Or you can clear all the negativity that comes and goes. Amethyst is great for any kind of transition, transformation. It's a calming stone. It's great for impatience. Therefore, it's really good for young children that have trouble keeping their big behaviors, as my friend Michelle calls them, in check. And it's also known as the drunkard's stone. So it's very good for any kinds of addictions. Many, many years ago, it was a stone that was used to put in drinks to help people who didn't want to get too intoxicated. The next one I want to introduce you to is lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli is amazing, and it is one of my favorites. And I hope you can see it. It's kind of a blue, well, it's blue with a bit of grays and greens that run through it. Lapis lazuli is becoming harder and harder to find. And it's even harder and harder to find lapis lazuli that has been mined ethically or that isn't actually a fake. So be very careful where you're buying your crystals. Know your retailer, ask all the questions. If your retailer can't answer every question you ask, where was it mined? Where did it come from? How was it mined? How did you come to be in possession of it? Then I would warn you to be a little bit cautious. Lapis lazuli is amazing for psychic abilities. If you do want to work with it, you can just put it on your third eye and it will really, really bring through the messages. It's great for protection. Family unit, it strengthens and builds the family unit. So if you've got a little bit of unrest within the family, you might want to go and try and get even a small chip. This is a small tumble, but just small chips. Doesn't have to be very big for each member of the family. It's good for building trust in yourself and others. It's calming, works great for anxiety, stress, panic attacks. And then that was lapis lazuli. And then blue lace agate. And again, I'm hoping you can see all the little lines in the stone. Blue lace agate is for emotional balance, spiritual and psychic opening, awakening, growth, communication, public speaking, and acceptance. So if you're ever at a point where you're having difficulty communicating, or you need to do a presentation or public speaking, this little guy will be your friend. Take him with you and he'll assist you. Alternatively, if you really struggle with speaking your truth or speaking up for yourself or public speaking, this would be really good to have as a pendant and wear near the throat to help your voice come out. And now we move on to rose quartz. Everybody knows rose quartz. Rose quartz is the stone of love. It's known as the love stone. It releases anger, fear, and guilt, any of those kinds of emotions that will hold you back, cause you problems, doubting yourself. So rose quartz will really, really help with those particular feelings. It's an amazing stone for forgiveness, forgiveness of yourself and of others. An exercise that I learned and have used is when you are having trouble forgiving someone, is to write the letter of forgiveness. Your choice if you ever share that or not. I don't ever share it, but your choice. Write the letter of forgiveness, fold it, seal it if you want, place it in space that you feel is safe, where it won't be disturbed. For it depends. You'll know in your mind or in your heart, in your intuition, and let it just sit and absorb all of the forgiveness. Then take the letter, cleanse the crystal. You can, with rose quartz, you can use water, but I still like the moon. Cleanse your crystal and burn the letter and help release that forgiveness that you have been holding on to. It's a stone for peace, serenity. It's just a really, really good feel good stone. Helps you to avoid confrontations or negative situations. It's I actually use rose quartz in my bath. And I also have my tub, the edge of the tub is got rose quartz along the edge. And now we move on to malachite. Malachite is green with lighter green strips through it. Malachite is amazing for emotional and spiritual balance. It also does a lot of the same work that the rose quartz will do, mainly because it is the traditional heart chakra stone. It cleanses the aura. So if you're feeling like a little spiritually sluggish or not really open, just take a little piece of malachite and cleanse your entire aura. So I'm not going to stand up to do it, but you get the idea, is that you would just cleanse about, I don't know, 2-3 inches from your body, just cleansing it. It helps to protect on modern toxins, the EMFs, no, electromagnetic fields. So your fluorescent lights, your computers, anything that lets off the EMFs, the electromagnetic fields, malachite is really good for cleansing that energy. Keep it by your computer, keep it in your pocket. I keep one in my car, and then I also have them by my computer. Oops. Next up, we have citrine. Citrine is yellow. And citrine is the stone of abundance. So if you're seeking abundance of any kind, whether it's monetary or love, whatever kind of abundance that you're looking for, citrine is your go-to. It's great for using in crystal grids. It increases energy. It helps with making difficult decisions. Helps you with your self-esteem, your confidence, and new tries. So if you're in the middle of big changes or feeling in a rut or just humdrum and need something new, then citrine will help you step out of that and find something new to do, something new to try, something new to invigorate you. And it can help you clear your thoughts. Carnelian is generally an orange color. Carnelian is the artist's stone. So performers, painters, writers, anybody that's artistic, the carnelian is the stone that you want to have near you when you're working or creating. Stone of creativity, self-security. It releases negative emotions, helps with your confidence. It'll bring personal happiness, helps you find your way. If you're not sure of your path and what direction you want to go, or you're waffling between two decisions, take some time with carnelian and just sit with it, and kind of like doing the heads and tails with a coin. See what the carnelian guides you to do. If you are buying or selling a home, carnelian is the home stone. It's the stone if you're wanting to buy, you carry it with you when you're looking. But if you're selling, you want to make sure you have some carnelian in your home to help those sales come in. Our next one is red jasper. Red jasper is grounding, it's stability, it's your survival stone, protection, helps you keep focus. So anything to do with that base foundation, it's connected with the root chakra. So anything to do with our foundation, our stability, our financial security, protection of home, red jasper is your go-to. I actually carry red jasper with me every day. So those are kind of the must-haves. There's lots, but well, they're the worker bees of the crystal world. So let's talk a bit about some of the other ones. Smoky quartz. So smoky quartz, again, shape and size doesn't matter. It's kind of like your clear quartz, but it always has anywhere from a brown to a gray to kind of a black tinge to it. Smoky quartz is, again, it's grounding and protection. It is absolutely amazing for removing negative energy from yourself, from others. I like to have it just in one corner of pretty much every room, and then that helps. It will, I find for myself anyway, I need to cleanse my smoky quartz more often than some of my other ones. So my smoky quartz gets a regular moon bath. And it doesn't have to be full moon or new moon. It can be any moon. But for sure on the full moon, they get a moon vacation. It's good for nightmares. So if you have children who have regular nightmares or trouble sleeping, a smoky quartz under their pillow can really, really help them. One word about children and crystals is that what I've found is that if the child or the kid is able to pick their own crystal for their own reason, that more often than not, they will find, or you will find, that that crystal will actually be the one that that child needs, and it will bring the power that that child needs. The next one we're going to talk about is sodalite. And it is amazing colors of blue with white veins through it. Sodalite is the stone for students and teachers. It's your study stone, your learning stone, your absorbing information stone, anything to do with learning or teaching. Sodalite is your go-to. It's calming, really, really helps with mental and emotional stress. It's great for communication, self-esteem, building self-esteem, helping with self-esteem. Sodalite is generally a real workhorse crystal. It's good for getting to the bottom of things, learning and finding the truth. It brings inner peace, develops your intuition, and helps with disagreements. I don't know where my little palm size sodalite has gone. So I need to go shopping. The next one that we're going to talk about is Auralite 23. Now, this is a personal favorite. I don't have it in polished. I only have it in raw. And part of the reason it's a personal favorite is because I'm Canadian and it's found in Canada. The only place in the world that is found is nearby Thunder Bay, Ontario. It's called Auralite because, Auralite 23, I'm sorry. It is actually made up of 23 different minerals. And they mostly all mimic amethyst. So as you can see, it really does look like amethyst. Auralite 23 is a soul healer and a connector to all things spiritual. Your guides, your angels, your ancestors, your higher self. Auralite 23 is amazing for spiritual healing, regeneration, rejuvenation. And I love the size of this one because it actually fills the palm of my hand and I can just feel it all the way. The energy is so, so amazing. So again, like I said, it's a favorite because it's Canadian, but also because it really is an amazing crystal. The next one that we're going to touch on is probably my absolute favorite in the whole world, and it's called Larmar. Again, it only comes from one place in the world, and that is Dominican Republic. I believe the mine is now closed. It was discovered, and I don't remember exactly which date, but anyway, it is the crystal of the ocean, in my opinion. So it's turquoise blue, my favorite color. It reminds me of the ocean, my favorite spot. And it's just a phenomenal, phenomenal crystal. So as you can see, it's a very, very, very Caribbean sea blue with the white running through. Just totally reminds me of the waves in the ocean. Again, with Larmar, because the mine has closed, and this isn't very good on screen, you want to be really careful where you buy it from. There is a mom and daughter business out of the Dominican Republic that does have an Etsy shop, and I believe it's called the Larmar shop. But just definitely be very careful where you buy it. It's hard to come by and it's not super cheap, but it is amazing. And next we go on to turquoise. Again, this is a stone that has a lot of, I don't think I told you the tributes of Larmar. I apologize. So calming and nurturing. It aids with tempers, anger, fear, anxiety, panic, any negative emotions. It's amazing for communication and for touching into your own wisdom. It's a spiritual stone, and it helps you, like I said, kind of go with the ebb and flow, similar to the ocean. Turquoise, another favorite, is also a stone, a crystal now, stone mineral that is being mimicked. Fakes are all over the place. You really, really, really want to do all your research. Turquoise is very expensive, very hard to come by for actual true turquoise. So be sure to do your research. Turquoise is known as the traveler's stone. It was very the indigenous Native Americans used a lot of turquoise. I'm sure you've seen their jewelry. It offers protection, communication, spiritual connection, connection with the spirit world. It attracts prosperity, detoxes the body. So if you are going through big changes or getting healthy, whatever it is you're doing, turquoise is a really, really good stone to work with. Selenite. So selenite, oops, as you can see, it's got these lines all the way through it. It's quite soft. Don't put it in water. This one's a little bit more polished. So this selenite, as we know it, is actually feldspar. Selenite proper is completely translucent. You can see right through it. But selenite is awesome for psychic communication, building foundations, cleansing, healing, protective. There are people that use selenite to cleanse other crystals. So you would take a slab or a bar of selenite, such as this, and then you would just take your other crystals and place them on top and let them cleanse. That's a matter of choice and intuition, personal choice and intuition. It's the crystal of peace and harmony. So if you're feeling a little off, then you might want to sit with your selenite and peace and harmony. And it is your connection to your guardian angels. And last, but definitely not least, we have hematite. Hematite, you might have seen it. They call it hematite, but the magnetic bracelets that all stick together is not true hematite, but similar ideas. So that's the kind of black. Hematite is amazing for grounding and stability. If you're climbing ladders or things like that, you want to be grounded and you want to be strong and you want to be stable, hematite might be your go-to guy. Again, it's also like, I can't remember which one I said, but it helps with protection from the EMFs, the electronic magnetic fields. It's great for mental organization, releasing negativity, and one of the few stones that really, really helps you with self-imposed limits, the limitations we put on ourselves. So if you are one of those people who limits yourself or puts up the roadblocks, then hematite could very much help you. So there you have it. The ones that most people should have in their toolkit or may want to have in their toolkit. There are no shoulds. It's only what you decide. No rules, only tools. And then a few of my favorites. I hope that you find, and I have one more. I'm sorry. It is called apatite. And apatite is an amazing, amazing crystal for connection to self, to higher self, to the spiritual realms. So if you are into any of the healing or connection with spirit world, apatite is phenomenal. I hope you enjoyed this, and please, if you have any questions about crystals, I'm always here to answer them. Just give me a message or stalk me on Facebook. I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next week in Midlife Magic. Take care.